Hi, boys and girls. So I'm doing the first 6 weeks review test. So problem 1 says point X on the number line below represents the height of a puppy in centimeters. What measurement does point X represent on the number line? So we need to find point X on this number line. So if I look at my number line, I know it has 15, 16, and 19. If I look at my answers, they have decimals. So I know this is going to be in decimals. So I can already say this is 15.0, this is 16.0, this is 19.0. So I'm doing decimals. So if this is 15.0, I can say, okay, this is 15.1, 15.2, 15.3, 15.4, 15.5, 15.6, 15.7, 15.8, 15.9, and then it becomes 16.0. Okay. I do the same thing. So I have 16.0, I'm at 16.1, 16.2, 16.3, 16.4, 16.5, 16.6, 16.7, 16.8, 16.9, and then I get to 17.0. So then I continue again, the same thing. 17.0, 17.1, 17.2. Okay, so then if I go here, I know, okay, my answer is G. Okay, when you do these, it's very important that you fill out the whole number line. Okay. Number 2 says the distance in meters that 4 students jumped are modeled below. Which lists these distances in order from greatest to least? So the first thing I need to do is read these models. Okay. So remember, I'm going to do the first one. Remember, if it's fully shaded, that is one whole, or you can say $1. Point, then my decimal. Now I'm going to count this. So I'm going to count by tens, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 61, 62, 63. So it's 1.63. Or you can say I have $1.63. Next one, remember again, if I have one that's fully shaded, that's me saying that I have $1 and then I count 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So I can put I have 50 cents, or you can also put you have $1 and 1.5. Okay. Remember, if the 5 is in the tenths place, so if I make this into a place value chart, I have my ones, decimal, tenths. If the 5 is in the tenths place, that's saying that you have 5 dimes. Okay, and if you have 5 dimes, that's 50 cents. So 1.50 and 1.5 equal the same thing. Okay. For Otis, again, I have this is fully shaded, so it's $1, 1 point, and then if I count these, 10, 20, 30, 40. So I can say 1.40, or I can say 1.4. These equal the same thing. Okay, next one, I have, again, fully shaded, so I can say $1, 1 point, and if I count these, 10, 20, 30, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46. 1.46. And now I just need to order them from greatest to least. So my greatest one is 1.63. Next, I have 1.50. You can put your placeholder, so 1.50. Next is 1.46, and then the last one is 1.40 or 1.4. I can put a placeholder, okay? And then if I look, my answer is D. Okay, so in D, when they have 1.5, remember, you can put a 0 here. 1.4, you can put a 0 here. So 1.5, 1.50 equals the same thing. 1.4 or 1.40 equals the same thing. Okay. Number 3 says, Estelle shaded the model below to represent the height of a building that is 4.8 meters tall. Which fraction represents the height of the building in meters? So they're giving us a decimal, 4.8, and they want me to make it to a fraction. So I'm going to do my place value chart. I'm going to do my PVC chart. I have my ones, I have my decimal, I have my tenths, and I have my hundredths. Okay? And I'm just going to plug this decimal into here. So I have 4.8. When I make my fraction, your ones, so my ones here is the 4, is going to be on the side. My big 4 right here, it's going to be on the side. Because it says 8 is in the tenths place, that means I'm going to be 8 over 10. Okay, it's telling me what place the 8's going to be. Tenths, I put a 10. And if I look, my answer is A. Okay, so just remember, if it has a number, if it has a digit before the decimal, that's going to be your 1, it's going to be on the side. If it says 8 in the tenths, you put 8 over 10. Okay. Number 4 says, this model is shaded to represent one whole. So they're telling us this is one whole. Remember, one whole is basically saying I have $1. Zach drew a model that was shaded to represent 0.53. Which model could Zach have drawn? So we're looking for 0.53. If I need to make my PVC chart. So I have my ones, tenths, and I have my hundredths. Okay, if I plug this decimal in, I have 0.53. If you notice here, I don't have any ones, and they're telling me ones looks like this. If I have one whole, it looks like this, fully shaded, but I don't have any. So I can already tell myself A is not it because it has all these ones. C is not it. It has all these ones. So now let me go to B. When I count these, I count by tens. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. So I can say this is 0.80. Or you can say 0.8. Okay. If I go back, I'm not looking for 0.80. I'm looking for 0.53. So it's not B. Let me go to D. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 51, 52, 53. This is 0.53. D would be my answer. Okay, so number 6 says the mass of a baseball is 14 over 100. Which decimal represents the mass of the baseball? So they're giving us a fraction. They want a decimal. Again, I'm going to make my PVC chart. I have my ones, decimal, tenths, and I have my hundredths. Okay. There is no number on the side, so that tells me I'm going to have 0 ones. Drop my decimal. It says 14 over 100. So I'm going to put my 1, my 4. Okay? And since the 4 is in the hundredths place, that's why it says 14 over 100. And the one that looks like that is C. Okay. Number 7 says, Julio shaded the model below to show that he walked 6.7 miles. Which fraction represents the number of miles Julio walked? So they're giving me a decimal. They want me to convert it to a fraction. So again, I'm going to do my PVC chart. I have my ones, decimal, tenths, and I have my hundredths. Oops. So there is a number here before the decimal. Because there's a number here, I'm just going to say that I have 6 ones, drop my decimal, and I put my 7. Okay, just like the way it is here, I write it here. So now when I do my fraction, because I have my ones is my 6, I'm going to put it on the side. So I have 6 on the side, and then it says 7 in the tenths. So that means I'm going to put 7 over 10 because it's telling me my 7 is in my tenths place. So my answer would be C. Okay. Number 8 says, in the number 16,300,010, the digit 6 has a value of. Okay, so for this problem, we have 2 strategies. We can either do the PVC chart or we can do the pizza. I'm going to do the pizza for this one. So I'm going to write my number 16,300,010. Put a line underneath, and when I do my pizza, I'm going to drop each digit down. So I'm going to drop the 1 down. Everything afterwards is going to become a 0. I drop my 6 down. Everything afterwards becomes a 0. I drop my 3 down. Everything afterwards becomes a 0. When I get to a 0, I don't do anything with it. I just skip it. So my next number that I go to is 1. Bring it down. Everything becomes a 0. So now they want to know the value of the 6. So if I look, I have 60 million. And if I count my zeros, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you see which one has that. Okay, so obviously, just by looking at it, it can't be B. It can't be C. I need to count 6 zeros. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 zeros. For D, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 zeros. Okay, but I need 6, so I know that my answer is A. Okay. Number 9 says, a car cost $23,456,000. Whoops, I said that wrong. A car cost $23,456.98. The digit 6 in this number has a value of. So I have this number. We're looking for digit 6. Okay. For this one, I can do the same 2 strategies. I can either do the PVC chart or I can do the pizza. Yes.